Guys, good evening. Welcome back to Moat Investing. It's been a long time without the video. Let's just have an update on the market. We're going to try to be as fast as possible. And we're going to, first of all, in the first part of the video, cover the macro part. And then the second part, maybe some stocks that we actually looking at. So, we're not macro investor. As you know, we are value investor. We're trying to buy stock where the intrinsic value is actually lower the market price. We actually take advantage of the inefficiency of the market, especially in those moments where the market become less efficient due to volatility. And so that's why it's interesting, and that's why you should actually cover us. But let's just try, first of all, to see the macro picture. And there's few questions that you asking me in the group, and some friends are asking me that, and I picked most intelligent questions, and there are four, and I want to cover those parts that are more connected to the macro part. First one is why the Chinese market is not actually collapsing like the USA one. And what happened to the yuan? Why the yuan is so stable and is not getting much weaker? Those are the first two questions. The other two are, what happened to gold? Why gold is going up that much? Why is it gonna keep going up? And what's gonna happen to Bitcoin? So those are the four questions that we selected for this meeting today. And the first one, why the Shanghai index not collapsing? The market in China is manipulated. It's a fake market. It's a communist party. Xi has a control, and Trump is not the control of the Fed because the Fed is dependent. But Xi has the control of the Central Popular Chinese Bank, and is asking the bank to sell dollars and to buy yuan. And is supporting the yuan in this way, and is creating trouble to the dollar because the treasury then is actually having trouble now, and the yield is increasing. Also, is asking in the form of extortion, and this from news that coming from Bloomberg is pressurizing, is asking to the private company and to the stattal government company to buy the Chinese stocks to sustain the Chinese market and trying to show its strength. Is that strong, the Chinese market? Of course, it's not strong. The Chinese market will be the one, worldwide market will be mostly hit by the tariff, if tariffs stay in place as it is, or even less than that. Some people expect to be less. The economy, Chinese economy is based on an export. When you actually hit with such a tariff, the export, you expect the Chinese economy to go really bad. And that's why you do expect that the monetary stimulus and, of course, the yuan to get weaker. So why the yuan is not getting weaker? Because it's manipulated by the Chinese government. And you don't believe...
To complement this, we can check on the chart we were checking before about you can
it's very interesting actually. Those charts come from the port maritime activity. This is the TEU, which is the 20 unit which is measure the container, right? 20 unit container measure of the export, right? So this measure the ability, the activity of export of the container from China, and they've been crashing down for the last few months. There's also another one, Eddie, is the bulk dry index, which actually measure the average price of the main the main wheat, steel, and coal. So main materials. There also is a forecast of economic activity. I mean, you don't need much. You can see ZIM, for example. Sakib, we've been covering it. It's getting crushed as well. It's one of the share we actually follow, and we're gonna talk about it then in the future and in the next video. And you can see that activity is really bad. And also steel is getting down, is getting hammering, and coal is getting killed. I mean, we know stocks like HCC, um, and some others, AMR, right, which are thermal and steel. I mean, and not thermal coal. Actually, those ones are met coal, right, metallurgical coal, which is connected to the industrial activity of the world, which is mostly connected to the Chinese economy. And then probably copper as well, Sakib, you can actually notice that one has
Yes.
been killed recently.
From
Usually,
FCX.
yeah, the industrial activity of China. So, I mean, China is in trouble. It will be in trouble. I mean, he's manipulating the currency. He's going to come to a negotiation with America. What happened to the American side? Let's just speak about the American side to understand why everybody then is converting on gold and why Bitcoin is probably a good bet now. I mean, what's happening is that obviously Trump is upset. Trump wants push the Fed to help to put the Fed to put this kind of put on the American economy and cutting the rate, trying to sustain the economy and the financial market. But Powell is independent. Powell just yesterday in Chicago stated again that is focused on double mandate. Double mandate, as we know, is unemployment and price stability. Price unemployment is not crashing; it's stay stable between 4.1 to 4.2%, and is not that bad. So now price stability is actually could be an issue, especially because now he actually said, I mean, that inflation could be temporary or could not be temporary. We don't know because it also could be converted to stay for longer. So he does not want to take a chance and cut. So obviously, Trump is now creating his own shadow monetary team. I think there was a name that was popping up now recently, Chris Waller, which is a member of the FOMC, is close to Trump, and is probably going to be the one substituting Powell. Is a dove, it's not a hook, and he already said in some interview, I'm going to sustain the American economy if I see weakness, and I'm going to probably make a cut independently from the inflation, even if it does not reach our target first. So that's actually bullish. I mean, people do not trust the American Treasury now. They don't want to get into the middle of the war between China and America. America is going to ask China, is going to ask Japan to buy the Treasury to sustain the Treasury. Trump has a problem. Is $9 trillion of refinancing. Of those 9 trillion, 6 are in the next few months, and you probably want to try to refinance at much lower price, much lower rate. And that's what the game is. And probably people don't trust that will be possible. So they buy gold for this reason. And they're probably going to buy Bitcoin for this reason. Bitcoin has been surprisingly high and resilient in this period. In the recent weeks, I think I read the news that there was a seizure of 20 billion from some exchange or some other company in China. China sold those 20 billion Bitcoin. Even with this 20 billion, the Bitcoin price being stable. BlackRock kicked in and actually bought those. And we saw the minimum around 76 in the last few weeks, but then it bumped up right away. And now it's $85,000. I do think that Trump family is all in crypto. They bought a lot of crypto companies. They're sustaining crypto. They need to give an answer to crypto investors. We sustain them during the campaign. So I do think, and it makes sense to have something like the Bitcoin to, in case the dollar economy get challenged. So I think Bitcoin is. I mean, the first time in my life I see, and I can say something like it looks like Bitcoin is actually more stable than the market itself. Market is quite expensive still. I mean, if you look at the market in terms of S&P 500, S&P 500 is formed by, the 40% for the Max 7. The Max 7 are quite expensive. The only one that seems interesting could eventually be Meta below $450 and still, $500 today. Nvidia, it's obviously discounting a crazy growth. I mean, it might happen, it might not. Don't even go to Apple or the others. Google might be cheap, but it might be disrupted. So, I mean, we find company which are independent from the tariff, or somehow independent, good businesses, or special situation that they're going to do well regardless the environment in the next 2 or 3 years. And if you want to know those, please follow in our second video. For now, short term, just to answer the questions, we not going to take any trade short term. It's very risky. The equity market does not give very good equity premium to actually satisfy the risk that there is. I don't see a lot of potential in the next few weeks in the market. If you want to take a short trade, I'm not a short-term trader, but I don't really see it unless things don't change drastically. But who knows if they will, what Trump will do. And on the long-term side, yes, there's some stories, especially in the small cap that seems interesting. They've been hit by volatility, and they became very cheap without any fundamental reason. We're going to discuss those in the next video. Long Bitcoin for now. Okay, I want to give you that. Usually I don't really like Bitcoin, but in this case, I think is a good bet. So please follow us in the next video, and we'll go ahead and tell you which story we're looking at.